Welcome, detectives. Today we've got a mystery to solve. But first, we need to understand Polya's four-step method.
Which is introducing the clues. What do we actually know? What are we trying to find? This is where you slow down, read carefully, and make sure you understand every part of the problem before jumping in. A good detective does not rush to conclusion. They collect the facts first.
Once you've gathered your clues, it's time to make a plan.
Math, this means deciding how you're going to solve the problem. Maybe you'll draw a picture, write an equation, or look for a pattern. It's like an investigation strategy. What steps will help you find your suspect, or in this case, your solution?
Next up, carry out the plan. This is the hands-on part where you actually do the work. You solve, calculate, and follow through your plan.
Just like detectives follow every lead, you keep working step by step until the mystery starts to make sense.
The final step is looking back and checking. Does your answer make sense? Did you miss anything? This step is like checking your alibi, making sure your story adds up and your solution fits the evidence. If something feels off, go back and recheck your clues.
What happened to our apple?
This is the perfect time to apply Polya's formula. Let's follow the steps. Step 1 is to understand the problem. So let's follow the tips.
First, we need to rewrite or reword the question so we better understand. The problem is we have 3 apples. After the lights flickered, there were only 2 apples left. Next, we should figure out if there's any missing information. We don't know how many apples we lost. Now with these tips out of the way, we can figure out what we are trying to solve. So the question that we want to answer is how many apples got taken?
Now we can move on to step 2 and devise a plan. Remember, this is when you ask yourself, how should I approach and where do I start?
We are going to show you how to use every tip for this, but it's only necessary for you to use the ones you need when applying Polya's to your own problem. The first tip is to make a list of the facts you know are certain. In this instant, bullet point 1, we had 3 apples, and bullet point 2, now we only have 2 apples.
The second tip is to draw a diagram. In this diagram, we show 3 apples and only 2 are left. This can also just be done by using circles to represent the apple or whatever you need for the problem you will apply.
The next thing you can do is work backwards. We switch the thinking from what did we lose to how many apples would we need to add to get to 3.
The last tip is to find a pattern, which is when you take the 3 apples that are adding 1 apple to another apple, or 1 plus 1 plus 1. And then you can take 1 away to get 2.
Finally, you need to devise your actual plan, which based on the tips is 3 minus 2.
Now we can employ the third step, which is to carry out our plan. This is simple. Subtract 2 from 3 and we get 1.
Remember, if at first you do not succeed, try and try again. Remember, there is no limit on effort. So as long as you don't give up, you can always find a solution.
We've made it to the last step successfully. All we need to do now is make sure the solution we found makes sense.
If you have 3 apples and are left with 2 after the lights flicker, it does make sense that you lost 1 apple. So therefore, we have the correct solution.
Okay.